Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to untangle the rules for Australia's Subclass 461 visa. If you're hoping to join your New Zealand family member down under, you are in exactly the right place. Stick around, because this is the guide you need. So, let's get right to it. Is the big goal to live and maybe even work in Australia right alongside a family member who's a New Zealand citizen? Well, if you're nodding your head yes, then the Subclass 461 visa is something you really need to know about. So, what is this visa really? Put simply, the Subclass 461 is a temporary ticket for family members of a New Zealander who aren't New Zealanders themselves. And the best part? It gives you 5 full years to live and work in Australia. That's a pretty significant amount of time. Okay, let's dig into the most important part of this whole thing, your connection to your New Zealand family member. Honestly, this is the bedrock of your entire application. Getting this part right from the get-go is absolutely crucial. Now, listen closely, because this can be a bit tricky. There are 2 very specific conditions for your family member. First, they have to be a New Zealand citizen, but, and this is the key, they can't be what's called an eligible New Zealand citizen. That's a special category often related to being in Australia way back in 2001. Second, they need to be on, or at least be able to get, the standard Subclass 444 visa that most Kiwis get automatically when they arrive. You have to nail both of these points. So, the obvious question is, how on earth do you confirm all of this? You definitely don't want to just guess or assume you've got it right. And the answer is actually pretty simple. The Australian government has an online tool called VEVO. That's VEVO. It stands for the Visa Entitlement Verification Online System, and it is the official way to check someone's visa status. To be 100% sure, your New Zealand family member needs to use VEVO and confirm what their status is. Okay, so once you've confirmed your family member is all good, the spotlight turns to you, the person who's actually applying for the visa. There are a couple of basic rules about your own citizenship we need to cover right now. This one's about as straightforward as it gets. To even be considered for this visa, you can't be an Australian citizen, and you also can't be a New Zealand citizen. The whole point of the 461 visa is for family members who hold a passport from another country. All right, here's a special case that might apply to some of you. What if you've had a 461 visa before, but the relationship with your Kiwi family member ended? Well, you might still be able to get another one, but the rules change depending on where you are. If you're in Australia, you need to still be on your 461 visa and, importantly, not have started a new family. If you're outside Australia, those same rules apply, but there's an extra hurdle. You need to prove you've either lived in Australia for 2 of the last 5 years, or that you still have really strong ties to the country. Now, on top of all those 461 specific rules, you also have to pass the standard checks that come with pretty much any Australian visa application. You can think of these as the general health and good standing requirements. First up, health. You and anyone else included in your application have to meet Australia's health standards. And here's a little pro tip for you. Think about getting your health exams done before you even submit your application. It can sometimes help speed the whole process along. Then there's the character requirement. This applies to everyone on the application who is 16 years old or over. It's basically the Australian government wanting to be sure that you're of good character. Oh, and this is a big one. Health insurance? Look, it's really strongly recommended. Why? Because you are on the hook for every single dollar of your healthcare costs in Australia. Having good insurance isn't just a suggestion, it's a financial lifesaver that could prevent you from facing huge unexpected bills. For anyone applying who is 18 or older, you'll also have to sign the Australian Value Statement. It's a formal step where you're basically saying, yep, I've read and I understand the values and laws that shape life in Australia. So, even if you've been ticking every box we've talked about, we need to cover a few potential deal breakers. These are the kinds of things that could stop your application dead in its tracks. So pay really close attention here. These are major red flags. If you owe the Australian government any money, that has to be paid off, or at least have a formal payment plan in place. If you've ever had a visa canceled or an application refused in the past, that can be a serious problem. And finally, if your current visa has a no further stay condition on it, you probably won't be able to apply from inside Australia. Whew, I know, that was a lot of information to take in. So let's just pause for a second and boil it all down into a quick and easy checklist to make sure it's all clear. Let's do a final run-through. Number 1, your New Zealand family member has the right visa status, that 444 visa we talked about. Number 2, you are not a citizen of Australia or New Zealand. Number 3, you're ready to pass the health and character checks. And finally, number 4, you're clear of any of those big roadblocks like debts to the government or a previous visa cancellation. So, if you can confidently tick off every single item on that list, then congratulations. You've cleared the first and, honestly, the biggest eligibility hurdle. The next question is, are you ready to start gathering your documents and get that application going?